Let me give you a synopsis. The Griswold family cross country. Okay. The Griswolds family cross country drive. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and the Griswolds family cross country drive due to Wally World. Drive to the Wally World. This is all written wrong. You can't read that right. Listen.
You
Listen.
wrote it.
The Griswold.
You wrote it.
It's the writing. I understand.
Welcome to Hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm your host, Des, and let me tell you something. This is no longer a podcast. It's a quest. It's a quest for fun. I'm going to have fun, and you're going to have fun. We're all going to have so much fucking fun, it's going to take plastic surgery to get the smiles off your faces. You're going to be whistling zippity-doo out of your assholes. Oh, I must be crazy. I'm on a pilgrimage for views. Praise the views. Holy shit. Okay, there you go. And joining me again, as always, my lovely little co-host, Lynn.
Real tomato ketchup, Eddie?
Nothing but the best. And joining us again, the podcaster with 1,000 potions, Mikki.
You left his dead mother tied to a lawn chair in his backyard. I'm sure he'll understand.
And last but not least, the podcaster, Packing Heat, Tony 2.0.
I should have known better, Des. Your rant stole my thunder because that was my line. So
Sorry, guy.
I'll just go. Welcome to Wally World. Sorry, the park's closed.
Perfect. You just made $1 million if you were John Candy. Okay. This week we will be discussing the 2011 comedy National Lampoon's Vacation, written by John Hughes, directed by the great late Harold Ramis, starring my favorite, Chevy Chase, woo, Beverly D'Angelo, Michael Anthony Hall, Dana Barron, and Randy Quaid. As always, this podcast will contain spoilers, so if you have not yet seen the movie, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast. Please take a minute to like and share. If you are listening on YouTube, please leave a comment of any kind. Like and share. If you're listening on Apple, please leave us a 5-star review. And if you have a friend that likes movies, tell them about the show. Say it every week. We're trying to keep the lights on here. I pay for this show out of my own pocket, the server, and all the other bullshit that goes along with it. So we have decided to do a merch store since nobody ever gave us any money on Patreon. So this way you can help keep the lights on and also receive a shitty t-shirt. So get over to our merch store.
Wait a minute. I thought they were going to be high quality custom design t-shirts with only the finest materials.
Actually, the t-shirts themselves are very, very high quality, but the first run of prints we did may be a little blurry. So if you get the new one, if you get the Reservoir Dogs poster ripoff shirt that we did, you'll get a really nice clean image on a really good high quality t-shirt. And if you're listening to VBR, Violent Vinyl Radio, and you're looking for one of those shirts as well, the new bloody handprint Blade Runner VVR written shirt is going to be fire, as the kids say today. So get over to vvr.printify, printify.me for your merch. And do that in lowercase. Get there easier. It's getting weird. Dylan, I know, Dylan. I've had too much Cafex. For your coffee alternative, get Cafex. I've had too much of my Cafex.
I wish you guys could see it. She's holding up his Frank Stallone mug so proudly.
Today I put a teaspoon of peanut butter in my Cafex to give it kind of a Reese's peanut butter cup coffee flavor. Very nice.
That may have been one of the best gifts, the best used gifts that I've ever given.
Mikki gave me this Frank Stallone mug right after we had done the Urban Cowboy episode. I want to just use Urban Cowboy because it was one of our best episodes. So if you want to hear a fucking side-splittingly funny episode, go check out Urban Cowboy. Great fucking podcast. Lynn, did we get any mail this week?
Yeah, we got a message from a listener, Tracy. She sent us a message about the Shining episode. She said, just finished the Shining episode. Fantastic. I haven't seen or read it in a long time, so there was so many things I forgot and so many things I had never even noticed. Great details. She also requested that we do Deep Blue Sea, and we're going to do it in our next episode with Tony. Thanks for the comments and request.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is the part of the show where I say what we're going to do for the next show. But that's been spoiled. We're going to do Deep Blue Sea to show our respect to Tracy. Tracy, thanks for listening to the show and writing in. We really appreciate it. Get a shirt. Okay.
Do it now.
Okay. So that is it. We'll do some opening thoughts and then we will break this thing down. I will forewarn you that I made us a nice fruit smoothie today. I have one every day. They're just fantastic for the colon. And I put a raspberry edible in and infused it into this smoothie, said smoothie. So should explain a little bit of what's going on here. Okay. Opening thoughts. I will get us started. This movie, National Lampoon's Vacation, was my favorite movie, hands down. From the age of 13 to 18, I was obsessed with this movie to the point where me and my friend who lived upstairs from us at the time spent an entire summer watching it and playing Monopoly and memorizing all of the dialogue. So we could do pretty much any scene as we sat there playing Monopoly. Like I'd just start and he'd finish it. And we spent the whole summer doing this. But the real question here is Clark insane or does he have a brain tumor? Let's find out. Delynn, were you familiar with the movie before preparing for the podcast?
Yeah, you've definitely forced me to watch it many a time.
Recurring on this podcast. He says that all the time.
Yes. I need to ask, do you ever force him to watch anything?
Oh, no, because the few occasions I've been like, hey, you got to watch this. He's like, this is stupid. I fucking hated this. And I don't want to.
How was that again?
Exactly.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like our house. It's really weird.
Mickey, had you ever seen the movie before preparing for before choosing it for the podcast?
Yes, actually, several times. I watched this movie many times growing up. I thought this movie was kind of a staple of the 80s. It was one of those in the must see. So yes, to answer your question, yes. I have to make a little comment though, completely stupid, but I wish I could show this to you, but I can never show you my screen. But when I was taking notes last night, I didn't end up taking a lot of notes because I don't think I needed to, but at the top of my notes, I wrote Lindsey Buckingham, and then I looked down and autocorrect had changed it to Lindsey fucking Ham.
I thought you were going to say lesbian.
It's true.
That's
lesbian fucking ham.
Lindsey fucking Ham. I was like, okay. I showed it to Tony. I'm like, look what she just did.
So funny. And Tony, were you familiar with this movie before preparing for the podcast?
I was. I don't really believe, unless you grew up like in a cave in the mountains somewhere in Appalachia, that you haven't seen this film. I think if you grew up in the generation that we're all kind of a part of, it's a rite of passage. You saw this movie at least one time. You might not be crazy about it, or you might love it, but you've had to have seen it. It was
Tony, are you forgetting that Mickey had never seen The Karate Kid? So I think we have to ask this question after that forever.
Des, you do know my wife was raised by wolves, right?
Listen,
I mean, come on.
I don't know.
She's not like the other girls, okay?
There.
She tells me that a lot.
And you know what? I really wasn't missing much.
Oh,
so.
Bullshit. Have you seen the new one?
No.
Yeah, because she liked the first one so much, Des. She's definitely keeping up with this
Run
series.
the tape back and listen to how she said no. It was fucking classic. It was so genuine.
Best no I've ever heard.
So genuine. It was amazing.
No.
No. All right. Let's get into it then. It did have a box office budget of $15 million and it grossed $61.4 million. So this was a huge success. And obviously it spawned a bazillion fucking sequels.
Yeah, 5 sequels.
Yeah, so it did okay. And is that including the remake, the reboot?
I would be more interested in seeing what $61.5 million in today's dollars would be worth, because it's probably, like a $240 million franchise. You know what I mean?
So 62 million in
Yep.
1980 versus 2025 would be 250 million.
That's a lot of
Oh, what did I
cheese.
Close,
say?
honey.
240. I was all
Damn.
A
right.
lot
See?
of cheese.
My degree in economics didn't go for nothing, I tell you.
I had forgotten last week when we were doing, or the last episode when we were doing Hall Pass to ask you. So, being a retired police officer, what is the protocol for finding a man masturbating in his Astro van in front of his house? Like, how does that play out?
Well, if you're a smart cop, you wait until he's done so you don't get any on you.
No. It sounds like you'd have a more.
Why do you think I'm telling you this? I've been
No,
there and I've
no.
done that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you were
Oh, yeah.
turning the.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I worked in several different patrol areas, one of which was quite rural. And I can tell you that there's a park and it has a like a bridge abutment by over a river. And it's notorious for finding people there at odd times doing odd things with other people,
Oh dear.
usually in
So-
cars. So yeah, you wait, right? Unless you want to get some on you, you wait. And then you can give a stern speech because technically, bopping your baloney in the dark of 2 a.m. is not really illegal per se. It's just really frowned upon generally.
So,
It's
Tony,
kind of
clean
more
that. Show me your hands. Okay. Now clean that up and get out of the car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. No, you wait.
Let me give you a synopsis. The Griswold family's cross-country drive to the Wally World theme park proves to be much more arduous than they ever anticipated. All right, there it is. Like a
Good job,
champ.
honey.
Thank you. Delynn, let's start breaking this fucking thing down.
Clark Griswold is a food processing salesman living in Chicago, Illinois, who wants to spend more time with his wife, Ellen, and his teen children, Rusty and Audrey. So he decides to lead the family on a cross-country expedition from Chicago to the Los Angeles amusement park, Wally World, billed as America's favorite family fun park. In the opening scene, Clark and Rusty drive to a local car dealer where he has decided to purchase a new sports wagon for the cross-country drive. But the conniving salesman, Ed, tells him that the car he ordered never arrives and scams Clark into taking its place of a more gas-guzzling, technically failing behemoth station wagon called the Wagon Queen Family Truckster. Clark refuses to be conned, but after his old station wagon is accidentally crushed by a compactor, Clark is left with no choice but to take the truckster. So we start off really strong with this opening montage with the cool vintage postcards. The song is instantly recognizable, done by Lindsey Buckingham. Maybe the only really good single he's done that wasn't a Stevie Nicks diss track. And no, I don't think Go Insane is a good song for the record. Also, we get Eugene Levy here as the car salesman, probably fresh off SCTV, but way before Schitt's Creek. Gave me a good chuckle to see him there.
Yeah, I love the intro to this. I love the song. I love how they put the dog bark in it. Oh, it's so good.
All right. Plus, it's the idea that you don't get Eugene Levy in this role normally. He is usually, how do we say it? He's the straight man.
Yes.
He's the square, if you will.
Mhm.
Here, he gets to be the conniving guy who he never plays. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to see the little mind game he plays on Clark, where he knows this is fucked up, but he refuses to give in an inch and say, "Oh, your car didn't come in." Oh, no. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and like you were saying before the show started about how all the different actors they got for tiny little spots in this movie that just fill it out so well. But in this opening scene, the first thing you're going to notice is when they pull onto the lot, Rusty and Clark, Eugene Levy, they don't give him a name. He's just called used car salesman, which is great. Do you see the look on his face? It's sheer panic. He knows they're coming, and he knows that he does not have their car. But you're going to also notice a huge line of Wagon Queen family trucksters. So they're sitting on a shitload of these shitty cars that they can't sell. So the moment
You don't want a car in a color called Magnetic P? I love that.
Fucking amazing.
Metallic P.
Metallic, sorry.
Yeah.
I said
The minute he comes in, fucking the used car salesman. The used car salesman is going to have his car crushed. This is a trade-in, so something they could probably get, $400 or $500 for. But he's desperate to sell this Metallic P Queen family truckster, so he has the car crushed instantly. So there's no Clark's not leaving in his car. That's it. And I just thought that was so great. But in Eugene Levy's defense, if you're taking the whole tribe cross country, this is the automobile you should be driving. The Wagon Queen family truckster. You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it.
I'll be very honest with a quick story. I owned at one point a Ford Country Squire, which is the station wagon that this car is modeled on.
Oh, I love it.
It had all the bullshit. It had the fake wood trim with the plastic around it.
Wow.
It was white. It had a red cloth interior. It was a dream to drive, except for the fact it did leave me high and dry on the side of the road with a blown radiator hose on the way to a Blink-182 show at a place called Darien Lake, which was,
I love Blink.
So I wound up getting there thanks to the AAA driver and a little reconnoitering, but those cars were incredible. I actually sold the car for more than I bought it for after I put about 75,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And I literally beat this car to death and it refused to die.
Was the gas cap located on the hood?
No, it was not.
No, okay.
No, it was not. That's a how do we say it? That's the convenient place where Beverly D'Angelo finds it, but that's not.
I feel like I've seen that before on a car.
Put it this way, the weirdest location I've ever seen is on those Corvettes in the good old days, that because the trunks were so small, they put them in the center of the trunk. So you had to like lean over the painted surface of the car so that you could scratch the paint with the filler. And
Dylan and I know very well we've owned 2 Corvettes that we had to fill in that very gas hole.
Yeah, no, it was under the license plate frame like everywhere else.
And did you ever jump at 50 yards?
I did get air. All 4 tires were off the ground, but that was only because I was trying to make a red light and they were doing some construction and they had put one of those humps in the road where they were putting the new water line. So it was kind of like a jump. It wasn't quite Bo and Luke Duke. I did scream yeehaw because I wasn't quite ready for it. And I hit it from like 35 to like 50. And I'm like, whoa, airborne. Yes.
So the beginning of the movie, we're going to get a lot of character building with Clark. They're going to tell us who this guy is. And he's completely out of touch with his family. He's completely out of touch with Rusty. He barely knows his own kids. And this is going to be the recurring theme throughout the movie. I mean, with his whole family, really. I mean, at one point, he can't even remember Audrey's name anymore. He's like, and Russ is like, Audrey? It's like, yeah. But Clark, for me, he's a likable, like sort of bumbling, unintentional narcissist, right? Like he's a narcissist, but it doesn't feel like vicious. It just feels dumb. And he's also like a complete nymphomaniac. Like the only thing this guy wants to do is chase tail. Like he is just chasing fucking tail. Every time he gets a chance to like get into fucking Ellen's pants, he's there. Fucking Christy, he's there. Cruising the bar in his white patent leather shoes, he's there. He's down for all of it in every scene. He's a fucking freak show, but I love it. I love this opening scene. Mikki.
Again, this movie is required watching.
Yes. Great.
I really think
kind of like required reading in summer school or what?
Yes. Okay. I did have a fun fact that that scene when he goes to rip off the license plate, it wasn't supposed to come off.
Correct.
And he almost hit the lady. Yep. And so that was completely like, oh shit, I broke it. You know what I mean? Yep. Which I thought was funny.
Not only that, but that is so Chevy Chase. I mean, it is his patent shtick, physical comedy. That is what he was known for. And he is so good at it. Just that whole scene where he gets caught in the hose for the gas filler and he almost takes a header and he's looking for the inlet for the gas tank. And it's like, it never gets old. You could watch it and it's like the Three Stooges, but it's a modern version. And it's just him, even when he did the opening to Saturday Night Live where he would fall down in some way, shape or form every week.
Fumble with the
You knew
pages.
it was coming and you still laughed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so just genuinely gold comedically. You know it's coming and you still laugh and it still
I guess
sells.
I was done, but thanks, Tony.
Whatever. You were just droning on.
Please, people, write in.
Besides, I had a point to make, and you were just talking about some story you read. Who cares? God.
You're welcome.
I don't know where we are.
Where were we?
I don't know who's talking.
It's your turn.
Mikki, were you done?
Apparently.
For my opening thoughts, I think we went through them.
Okay.
Great cast, solid soundtrack, and let's go ahead and score this film. Let's do it.
Dylan,
Everybody loved it. Trust me.
Keep going.
At home, although Ellen tells Clark that she wants to fly to California for their 2-week vacation, he insists on driving so he can bond with his family. The next day, the family packs into their new car for the long drive to California, only to have all their luggage strapped to the top of the station wagon fall off after they back out of the garage, a bad omen of things to come. During the first day's drive, Clark and Ellen try to ease the boredom by singing old folk songs, including the Wally World National Anthem. Rusty and Audrey take their escape by listening to their Walkmans. While stopping for gas, Clark cannot find the gas tank opening and accidentally tears off the station wagon's license plate, searching for it. Later that same day, the family arrives in St. Louis, Missouri, but after crossing the Mississippi River into the city, they get lost and end up in a rough urban area where some local street hoodlums steal their hubcaps and spray paint graffiti on one side of their car while giving them sham directions back to the local expressway. Back on the highway, all of the family falls asleep, including Clark, while he's still driving. Their car exits the road and roars through a residential neighborhood, tearing up several yards before stopping for the night at a local motel. As a video game geek, I appreciated the little bit of this old computer that Clark's using. That's with like the TV is your what do you call it? Your screen.
Monitor.
Yeah, your monitor. Rusty and Audrey attacking the family truckster with the video. Like, this obviously could not have happened, but it just made me laugh anyways. I thought it was funny. And my favorite part of the whole movie is probably just how this white middle-class family is, like, they're so white middle-class. And the line, kids, are you noticing all this plight? It makes me laugh every time. It's so stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is. It's just, it's really fun humor. A lot of physical comedy from Chevy that you just, oh man, back then it was so good. So in this scene, we get Clark and Ellen rinsing the dishes. So Ellen is rinsing the dinner off the plates and fucking Clark is just drying them off and putting them in the cabinet. It's another perfect example of the disconnect. He's telling us these two are just like, it's just nothing there. Like he's never home. It's setting him up as like the working dad that spends more time at the office with his kids and his wife. He's completely clueless and lost in the kitchen. It's fucking great. It's a great setup for this disaster of a road trip that we know is coming. You know, they're going to pile the whole family he doesn't know into the family truckster, and they're going to drive for fucking a week cross country. What could go wrong? And like you said, Delenn, this computer, this really reminded me of how things were so different in 1983. There was no tech, zero tech. Like we were living with nothing. No cell phones, no nothing. And honestly, I miss that time. I honestly believe as a species, we were not ready for that technology. In my opinion, it has made people crazy, self-entitled, mindless, aggressive fucking assholes, desperate for validation from Facebook. They can't go 5 minutes without looking at their cell phones. It's a living horror movie. Look around, people. If you can put your phone down.
Says the guy who does a podcast and wants everyone to listen to him.
Well, no, I mean.
Actually, he does 2 of them, so let's get that right.
I mean, if you're going to do something like that, listen to my show.
Yeah. So that we can all commemorate the idea that the internet is the fucking end of man's civilization. I got you.
So, Delenn, this inner city scene you're talking about. So, yes. Okay. So this one, Harold Ramis did not want to add it to the movie. He didn't want it in the movie. He was pressured into using it. And he since said that if he made the movie again now, he definitely would not add this scene. I love this scene. I'm going to tell you why. It's Clark that's the asshole here, right?
Oh,
Clark is the asshole. He wanders into this neighborhood with this clueless upper class fucking upper class
Would it
family.
be Holmes?
Telling his family to take in all the plight, kids. Like this is one of the attractions along the way, right? Like we'll go through the hood and we'll la-di-da, noticing all the plight. It's fucking ridiculous. Then he antagonizes different groups of people by speaking this weird honky jive talk. Yo, Holmes, what it is. It's like, so of course these people are going to fuck with him. He's a total clown in their neighborhood, just being a fucking douchebag, basically. As for the scene though, I absolutely love it. And then finally, and this is mind blowing. Okay. Clark is trying to get Ellen to give him a blowjob while he's driving in front of his kids. Okay, in front of his kids. This is beyond a disconnect from your family. This is psychopathic. Okay, like he is now like on a vacation with somebody else's kids and somebody else's wife. What father in his right mind would want a blowjob in a car with his children in the back seat? Clark is fucking crazy, but it gets worse. Instead of pulling over to a hotel when he starts getting sleepy, he fucking just falls asleep with his family. and narrowly avoids a fucking like vehicular homicide fucking count. He's killing his face. He's insane. Tony, please talk about this.
Okay, I will take the defense of one Clark W. Griswold as the resident defense attorney here.
Okay.
Number one, everything Clark does is essentially a flaw of human nature. Okay, first of all, we're men. Number one. Number two, John Hughes does such a great job of pointing out the flaws of humanity. You know, the whole idea of Christy Brinkley and her Ferrari happened to go the same way over a 2,000-mile plus road trip is complete bullshit, but it works because it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Clark's fantasy. You know, he's in the park with the sandwich and she's dancing and got the beer and he's dancing back. And it's just fucking perfect. Even to the point where they go, these sandwiches are wet. And then they realize the dog pissed on the sandwiches. And it's again, the physical comedy of Chevy Chase where he has to spit it out, but he keeps on dancing like nothing's ever happened.
It's fucking great.
So it's gorgeous. It's just fucking pure gold comedically. So you don't argue with it. The whole idea of being in East St. Louis after dark in your family truckster and not caring. Clark, you missed the exit. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll find it, right? That's what people do. Natural human kind of reaction to shit is, I'll just figure it out, right? How hard can it be? How much, you know, he even plans this trip out to the nth degree. We have 3 hours to be here and 16 days to drive here and whatever the fuck it is. And you know, this whole schedule is dog shit because it goes right in the handbasket after that because he can't keep up to the schedule, but he tries, right? You know, because he doesn't want to go see Cousin Eddie or Aunt, whatever the fuck her name was, Imogene Coca, who was great too. But it's the kind of thing where you got to love it. It's very human based. So you relate to it, even though you're right. He is a bit of a sociopath and a little fucking loony, especially when he's tired.
I'm a sick puppy, and I'm in no universe in any form of Harold Ramis's imagination. And am I asking my wife to blow me in front of my children in a car? Just not happening. Okay,
by the way,
not
Des,
happening.
I will also say this. First of all, they're not directly in the car; they're just in the back seat.
No,
Second of all,
they're too
wait a
close.
minute. The idea that it was a blowjob is only implied.
No,
Maybe he just wanted a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
rub.
yeah, maybe
a little rub and
yeah,
tug.
yeah. Put your head in my lap. No, Mickey, were the kids too close?
Way too fucking close.
Because you've had kids, so you would know.
That is just common sense. I think that was a great scene. I could see why he maybe wouldn't want to include it now. But I think it was really kind of pivotal to show you kind of what kind of person Clark is. It's not that he's a bad person. He's fucking clueless. Like he's clueless.
Right.
He's clueless. Harmless. But you know, he's talking and he thinks he's like forming kind of a bond with this guy, not realizing that they're literally ripping everything off the car. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
he's just, and the kids are like, what the fuck? You know?
Oh, do you think they know the Commodores? It's like what? Jesus.
Yeah, that's classic.
Amazing.
But yeah, but as far as your, you know, falling asleep at the wheel, I've been in a car where that has happened. It's very scary. I have not fallen asleep at
Were
the
you
wheel.
driving?
No, I was not driving.
Okay.
Good. But that is very scary. And then, you know, the kids are too close, Tony. They're really too close.
Okay. I'm just defending Clark Griswold because I like to be the devil's advocate.
It's undefendable here.
It is
undefendable.
probably undefendable. But you know what? I give the guy credit for trying.
If you'd like, you can just admit you're wrong, and we can
Okay.
edit it out of the podcast.
I love the fact that she doesn't want to do anything, but she will lay her head in his lap.
Sure,
just for
she'll
old
take a
time's
little
sake.
nap.
Weird.
That's fine.
Exactly.
Nothing
You
wrong
know,
with that.
well, come on, please.
Clark has planned a romantic evening at the motel with Ellen with wine and quarters for the magic fingers, but the mattress is loud and starts bouncing wildly. Clark pulls blankets onto the floor and they crawl under the covers. The kids come in from the connecting room to investigate the noise because God forbid you lock the door if you're going to have sex. Rusty unplugs the bed before the kids go back to their room. On the second day of vacation, the family arrives in Dodge City, Kansas, where Clark falls victim to another tourist trap where he insults the local bartender at a Western-themed tavern and gets shot with a round of blanks. Back on the road, Clark is tempted by a hot young woman driving a flashy red 1983 Ferrari 308 GTS. That afternoon, the Griswolds arrive at a farm outside of Coolidge, Kansas to visit Ellen's cousin Catherine and her eccentric husband Eddie, with their 5 kids, creating more tension for the Griswolds. Catherine and Eddie voice crotchety old Aunt Edna and her vicious dog Dinky onto the Griswolds, asking them to drop her off at their son Normie's house in Phoenix, Arizona. Eddie also asks for a loan of $500 to help him out with numerous debts he owes the local bank and many bill collectors. The kids have a better experience with Eddie and Catherine's eldest kids. Cousin Vicky shows Audrey her secret pot stash, while Cousin Dale shows Rusty his secret porn magazine collection. The next day, the Griswolds, along with Aunt Edna and Dinky, drive off. During a picnic stop in Colorado, Clark has another encounter with the young woman in the red Ferrari who is parked and dancing to pop music before a dog urine-soaked sandwich ruins the mood. The Griswolds stop for the night in a rundown, dirty campground in South Fork, Colorado, where they survive another tourist trap for the night. Even though Aunt Edna is a gigantic pain in the ass, she is 100% right. Putting the family up in these tents for the night is cruel and unusual punishment. I was trying to figure out why they were packing sleeping bags at the beginning of this movie, and then I was like, I guess this was his plan, was to stop at tent sites. Like, no thank you. If it doesn't have running water and air conditioning, you can count me out immediately. And yeah, I think Clark might have, now that you've said what you've said, that he has like a sex addiction. He's like
Yes.
he's got a problem. And I think he also wants to be caught by the kids. I think it's a thing with him.
He's
He's having sex with her in a room with an adjoining door with no lock on it. He's trying to make her blow him in the car. That they get to the fucking tent, and it's like he's trying to have sex with her in the tent. It's like,
So he's not trying to have sex with her. He's having sex with her.
Yeah, there's 2 people in one sleeping bag. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Yep.
This scene in the hotel is really funny because one, like you said, it just shows he's a poon hound, man. Every chance Harold Ramis gets to fucking have Clark attack Ellen, he's on it. And we get the great scene with the kids coming in, and Clark, where's mom? And he's making the thumb gesture. Has got her underwear on his hand, and we get these great lines. Weirdo Rama, totally. It so brought me back to the fucking 80s. It was fun. I laugh out loud every time. It's really great. Down at Dodge City, this is some classic Chevy Chase when he gives this dialogue, the shit that I love. We get lines like Russ says, that guy was a crummy Wyatt Earp. He was wearing jogging shoes. And Clark, well, they used to, Rusty. It's the Old West was touristy. It's fucking great shit. Classic Chevy Chase. Only character he's ever done better than this is Fletch. And it's it's razor thin. I love both of these characters the same. The bartender, he shoots Clark in the face with blanks out of a fucking double barrel shotgun, right? Audrey can't hear. I'm deaf. Instead of being concerned, what does Clark say? It was fun anyway. What's the difference? She can't hear Clark. Who gives a fuck? What's her name again? It's fucking perfect. And then this is my favorite part.
Are you
this is
happy
my
now,
favorite.
Clark? She's deaf.
What's the difference? It was fun anyway. It's shockingly disconnected and fucking just, he couldn't give a fuck about these kids. So this section of the movie at Catherine and Eddie's, this is my favorite part of Vacation, and I'm going to tell you why. This is so crazy dark and twisted. This is a fucking horror movie. This is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with different music. So let me break it down. First, the youngest daughter born without a tongue. Okay. But she's like a horse and whistles like a bird, right? Number 2, Catherine is working multiple night jobs while at least 7 months pregnant. 3, Eddie is sexually abusing his daughter, Vicky, and she's bragging about it. Or was she crying out for help? I'm not sure. But either way, it is fucking shocking what's going on in this house. 4, Dale teaches Rusty how to bop his baloney in that creepy little hillbilly bedroom. It's fucking disgusting. All of this is beyond horrifying. And I love it all, but it is fucking terrifying. Ever bop? I learned this trick from a friend at summer camp. Ever bop your balloon? He's squeezing the little fucking workout thing. It's so fucking creepy, Mickey.
I agree. That I was just like, I French kiss, but my dad says I'm the best. You know what I mean? Like, that line has stuck with me since 1983. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so fucked up. It's so twisted. And Cousin Eddie, I mean, I almost feel like, what's his wife's name?
Catherine.
Catherine. Does she have a brain? Like, because in all of the movies that she's in with him, she's just like la 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 la. You know what I mean? It's almost like he beats her like he beats her in the head before they get around people. So she's kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? She's just like, do you know what
After
I
he
mean?
bangs his daughter. After he bangs his daughter.
Yeah,
Holy
it's so
shit.
dark.
Thank you, Mick, for taking it a little further down that tunnel I was going. She's been fucking lobotomized by him punching her in the head.
Well, she's just, I can quit one of my night jobs. It's like, what
Yeah,
the
once
fuck is
baby
he doing?
comes-
What the
once
fuck
the
is he
baby
doing?
Oh, well, the
Yeah, and then-
asbestos factory worked that one out of fucking
God.
business.
And then
Laid him off.
when they're at the table and the daughter's stirring the fucking Kool-Aid with her arm.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. I love this whole scene. The worm farm, fucking all of it. It's fucking classic. Tony.
Yeah.
You guys have obviously never been to Middle America.
Oh,
What
I
the hell's
have.
wrong with you people?
I have.
This is how like 70% of America survives from day 1 to day 2. Come on now, people.
Yeah.
That's just called bootstrapping. You got to, make your way through this difficult thing of life the best you can. Okay, I totally made that up. No, it's the point of, let's be honest, the film isn't funny if you don't have all these wonderful little segments in it.
Of course.
And of course, we kind of know because 80% of it's done in jest. Like, you know the deal. You like Eddie regardless of whatever he's maybe or maybe not been accused of.
even though he's banging
Because
his daughter.
Eddie's a
Okay.
fucking doofus, right? I mean, hey, Clark, I bet you'd like a cold one, wouldn't you? And he's got a beer in his hand that's open, and he gives it to Clark, and he drinks the one that's unopened.
Yeah.
That's just hilarious. Eddie, some of the shit he says is still classic to this day, and I don't remember which vacation it is in the sequel, but the shitter's full when they show up with the RV and he
Christmas
just pumps
vacation.
it out.
Christmas.
Thank you. Christmas vacation. He pumps it out into the local sewer. So, you gotta love Eddie. And does he have flaws? Of course he does.
Cousin Eddie's one of my favorite characters of all times. Of all movies, all times. He's fucking awesome, but I would not ask him to babysit my daughter. It's just
No,
saying.
never. Or any other living entity for that matter. The other thing I loved, by the way, we didn't say it, but the guy that he does ask for directions, of course, pulls the ultimate switcheroo on him. And after he whacks him for $10 goes, how the fuck do I know where the highway is? I'm from Chicago. I'm only here on vacation.
Oh, it's classic. And then, of course, the best
Beautiful.
line, one of the best lines in the movie, say, fuck your mama. That shit fucking cracks me up every single time. So look, keep it rolling.
The next day, the Griswolds and Aunt Edna pack up and leave the campground for Arizona, but while packing the car, Clark forgets to untie the dog Dinky from the car's rear bumper before leaving. Clark does not realize his error until he's pulled over by a local motorcycle cop to angrily inform him of his mistake that has led to the apparent death of the dog. Nevertheless, the policeman, overcome by his own memory of his childhood dog, allows Clark to proceed on his way. During the drive, Clark again sees the young woman driving the red Ferrari while everyone else is asleep. Tempted to keep speed with her, Clark accelerates and almost has an accident. Subsequently, one of the suitcases falls off the car, which contains all of Ellen's credit cards. The next day, the family gets lost on the back road, somewhere between Utah and Arizona, where Clark and Ellen argue. They accidentally drive off the road, missing a large roadblock, and get into an accident, damaging the Wagon Queen family truckster and straining them near Monument Valley. Clark hikes off into the desert and spends many hours wandering aimlessly in the hot and arid desert until he finds a gas station, only to find the family's already there after they were rescued by some local Native Americans. After making some half-hearted repairs, the lead redneck mechanic, who also happens to be the local sheriff, intimidates and scams Clark out of all the money he has on him, over $500 for the repairs. But they manage to get to the Grand Canyon Village to check in for the night. I don't need to explain why I hate this part of the movie, because no, I don't think killing a dog's funny. It's gross. And I know it's supposed to just be silly and stupid, but I hate it. So
This is one of the only times it hasn't bothered me in a movie. It's just a device for the joke. You don't really think the dog is,
yeah, I just don't think that needs to be a joke. That's all.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I love dogs. I love animals, but I thought this is pretty funny at work. If I wasn't in uniform, I'd split your skull with a butt of this revolver faster than you could say police brutality. Dude, this scene between these two is fucking the best. And apparently both actors were in tears laughing throughout the scene, and they were barely able to hold it together for the final take. And you actually see them both kind of like jog away because they are about to just blow up laughing. And
I
they
think
just
it was
couldn't get the
mostly
scene.
improvised too, wasn't it?
I'm not sure how much was improvised. I just know that the two actors were like
Yeah.
cracking up uncontrollably. It's fucking gold. It's another one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and you get Ed in the back seat, learning that her dog is just like, dog killer. It's fucking so good. And next here we see Clark. He almost commits vehicular homicide for the second time in the movie by driving on the wrong side of the road into oncoming traffic to pick up a strange woman while his family is sleeping. He is a sick fuck, okay? He is a sick man, and his stupidity is dangerous. Like Mikki, you said, oh, he's dumb, but he's not. He's dangerous. This is the second time he's almost killed his family. Narrowly.
But it doesn't even count. It was just a little, swerve off the road. What's
narrowly.
The big deal? I mean, you're such a square, Des. God.
Second, he goes head on with that truck. This guy is dangerous. Second time.
You never played chicken? All the sports cars you've had?
I've never played chicken. Chicken is not a game I have played.
You don't know if you're alive until you're at the edge of the fucking envelope.
After the podcast, little chicken. We'll take the Mini Cooper out. We'll take the Mini Cooper out. We'll play chicken with a garbage truck. See who wins.
Get on 95 and see what chicken really is.
He drag raced a 70-year-old man yesterday. So
did you really? Did you smoke his ass or what?
No, he smoked Des. Tell the story. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. We were coming home from a cookout at his boss's house, and this car pulls up next to us, and we're not really looking at them.
Blue two-door Cadillac.
Yeah.
Nice. Old school or like newer?
Newer. So pull up next to us. We're not really paying attention, and the light turns, and all of a sudden the two of them are driving as fast as they can. And I'm like, why are you racing this guy? We can't even see who he is. So at the next light, we stop.
They stop. We both come to a halting stop because we were going too fast and it was red lights. We're like, ah! And we stop. And I look over. This guy is like 77 years old with his wife, like on vacation from Florida. Like they drove this caddy here from Florida, and he's giving me the thumbs up. I'm giving him the thumbs up. And then the light turns green, and he fucking. I thought he was going to put this thing sideways, Tony.
Smoke came out of the back of the car. He hit it so hard.
Excellent.
And they were so old. It was
again. I'm sorry, but this is my theory of life. This is how you know you're still alive. This is how you know your heart beats, because you do shit like this regardless of your age, right?
So at this point in the movie, Clark finally accomplishes involving his family in a high-speed car wreck. Okay, so it finally comes to fruition. It took 3 tries, but he's finally done it. He's put them in a car accident, while completely ignoring Audrey's fucking warnings and like literally opening up a full-size map in front of the windshield, going 80 miles an hour on the highway.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
This could have killed everybody in the car. He's a fucking lunatic, and at this point, Ellen needs to protect the children. As for the scene itself, this is one of my favorite moments in the movie when Clark is standing on the roof of the car and Rusty says, "Gee, Dad, you must have jumped this thing about 50 yards. He says, "Nothing to be proud of, Rusty." Then he looks off in the distance and he says, 50 yards. It's fucking, he's fucking insane.
He's just a man-child, Des. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? He's a guy who physically is like 45 years old, but mentally he's like 12. Let's be honest. Why do you think he associates with Rusty so well? Rusty's actually the dad here. You know that, right? Clark is just this man-child going through life trying to fucking fit flat A into slot B.
Well, when Clark splits the beer with Rusty, he says,
Rusty drinks all of it?
Yeah. He says to Rusty, "You're a smart little guy." He goes, "Man." And Rusty says to him, "I've only been a man a few days, Dad. Do you know why? Because he bopped this baloney with cousin Dale."
That's the inference. Yes.
But that's true. That was what he was saying. It
sure.
was so
that's
weird.
His reference point. Yeah.
And these hillbillies that fucking fixed the family truckster, they're in the middle of fucking nowhere. This guy just jumped his car 50 yards and completely destroyed it. And they charged him $500 to get it up and going again. I think he got a deal.
How much you got?
How much you got, boy?
All of it, boy.
You can't get much better. Even the two redneck mechanics. One guy's name is John Deal, who went on to do great stuff in like Miami Vice and a bunch of films as a bit guy. And I can't remember the other gentleman's name with the big mustache and the crazy mullet. But I mean, they didn't just pick these two dudes out of a hat at Central Casting. They went out and found them because they're just perfect for what they're doing. And I love the way Chevy Chase just doesn't get the hint. No, tell me what I owe you. And they're like, "No, you don't seem to understand. We're about to hold you up, right? No, just tell me what I owe you. How much is it?" And they're like, "All of it." And he's like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" So you got to love him because the guy is he's an absent-minded professor, but he gets it in the end. So it is what it is, man. It's like you said, it's the comedic bit and it's just gold. You can't go
I've
wrong.
seen that other actor in lots and lots of
Oh,
things,
yeah,
playing
yeah.
like
Yeah, he's
biker number
typecast.
3.
He was in
I've
Stripes.
cast all the hell. Right. But
He was in Stripes.
Yeah, no, the skinny guy was in Stripes.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking
He's
about the other guy?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
John Deal was in
Yeah.
Stripes, and
He's the one they call they call me the cougar in my car club. That's him.
Yes. I just remember like when I was younger watching this and thinking like, do all like American dads act this way? Like, you know what I mean? Like with Christy Brinkley driving down the street, and I know Clark was supposed to be like, they wanted him to be like the epitome of the all-American dad, like, you know, taking his family on vacation. But I remember thinking like, are all dads like this?
I couldn't tell you. I grew up without a father.
Not only that, but you know, it's hard to relate that because no one has a normal upbringing.
No, I know.
At least not only in this group, but in general. You know what I mean? Like America as itself is not normal.
Right, but when
because
you're
we're a bunch
13, you don't know that.
Right, good point. My difference too is you have to remember this is still called National Lampoon's Vacation for a reason.
When you're
because
13, you don't understand what National Lampoon is.
Okay, but if you ever read the magazine, you'd understand that we're lampooning everything.
And I
here.
remember
That's the fucking
when
point.
he's like, oh, blah blah blah, and when they crash, and she's like, I just got my period, and I'm like, at 13, that is the worst place to get your period is in the desert with no bathroom. When you're a 13-year-old girl,
that's why it's funny, darling.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, see for the breakdown of the movie, obviously when I watch this movie just for entertainment, I don't question anything I'm seeing.
No,
I love
right.
it
You
all.
shouldn't.
It's all great, but that is not a good podcast. That is just us going, I think it's funny when he fall down. Me too. Like, yeah, we all know it's funny when he falls down. What you gotta do is you gotta give him something to listen to. So, Tony.
So you're just gonna get on your high horse and keep judging my boy Clark? Oh, it's
Yes,
rough,
I am.
bro.
I am.
He's doing
Tony,
the best he can, okay? He's a man-child, I'm telling you. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Not only that, but you got to remember too, Clark is not an adventurous guy, but he loves the concept of everything. You know what I mean? He really believes that this whole thing is idyllic. This whole road trip across the country, 2,500 miles in close proximity with your family. And it's going to like revive everything. It's going to make his marriage great. His kids are going to respect and love him and blah, blah, blah. And he's bought a dream that just doesn't exist. And it's awesome for the fact that he will not give up. He is the tenacious American spirit on this whole thing. And even though he faces, all these problems and all these downturns and whatever, and his wife is constantly saying, we should do this, go back, do whatever, go back to plan C and D and F and whatever. He's like, fuck that. We're going to Wally World, baby. So you got to love Clark because he's a man, sticks to his guns.
How about the scene where he's going through the desert and he's ripping all his clothes off, and the two Native Americans who ultimately leave him in the desert to die because they're rescuing this family from this lunatic.
They take pity on the family, but they're like, look at this dumb motherfucker over here.
Yeah, they're like,
Screw
we're going to
him.
rescue this family from this lunatic. Just he's better out here. Just the world is better without this guy who's ripping his watch off to cool down.
Complete side note, my auntie had 2 donkeys and she named them Ellen and Audrey.
That's interesting.
I like that.
Is that a direct correlative or just?
Yes, that's
those
why
are
she
two
named
favorites?
them Ellen and Audrey because she loved all the
Okay.
vacation.
So when I was little, my father lived in Virginia with his family, that whole side of the family. And I would go visit for a couple of months in the summer and see him now and again, whatever. It's a whole nother story. It's a very terrible relationship. But anyway, my family this is down in West Virginia, Tony. So I'm very familiar with the South.
Can I ask you what
It was
city?
just regular Virginia.
Was it regular?
Yeah, it wasn't West Virginia. It was regular
Oh,
Virginia.
that's okay. Once
Oh,
you
it
get
was-
out of the eastern seaboard of Virginia, you can become very rural very fast.
Put it this way. I was 10 years old with my father when we went over to my Uncle Brad's, and Uncle Brad liked to sit behind the table and chew Red Man Chew and spit it into a bucket. And my father brought me there, and he goes, I was 10 years old. He says to my father, Teddy, get that boy some chew. He wanted to see me chew, so I put a little chew in my mouth, and I got sick. So when you're 10 years old, don't chew the chew.
Wait until you're at least 12.
In the morning, the frustrated Clark realizes that in reporting Ellen's lost credit cards to their hometown bank, the bank has frozen Clark's credit cards by accident, and Clark cannot convince the stuffy hotel manager to take a $1,000 personal check to pay for their rooms for the night. With the hotel manager distracted for a few minutes when he has to answer a telephone, Clark steals all the cash in the register, leaving behind the $1,000 check and fleeing the hotel like a Wild West bank robber, grabbing his family away from the scenic beauty of the Grand Canyon and running away. Continuing through Arizona, they find that Aunt Edna has passed away in her sleep. With little options, they decide to drive to Phoenix anyway and deliver her to her son Normie's house with the Ted Aunt Edna tied to the roof of their car in the pouring rain. When they reach Normie's home that evening in the raging thunderstorm, they discover that he is out of town, and they leave Edna's body on a lawn chair in the backyard over Ellen's objections. Clark concedes to Ellen's request, and they say a prayer for the dear departed Edna. Despite all the events and begging of Ellen and the kids, Clark is more determined than ever to get to Wally World. They check into a motel for the night where he has another argument with Ellen. Clark hangs out at the motel bar where he has a face-to-face encounter with the beautiful young woman from the red Ferrari, and they make small talk. The woman tempts Clark to go skinny dipping with her in the motel's swimming pool, but upon diving in, Clark screams over the reaction to the cool or cold pool water, thus waking up the entire motel, including Ellen, Rusty, and Audrey. Clark goes back to apologize to Ellen, who demands that Clark repay the favor by taking him back to the pool to skinny dip with her. Okay, I know this is a movie. I know it's a fucking comedy, but your first reaction is not to drive to a fucking hospital when somebody's died in your car. I know she's dead. But that's what you do. You take them to the fucking hospital. You don't just fucking keep driving with them to fucking Phoenix.
His first thought was he was going to leave on the side of the road and call the first fucking...
And then
the first payphone they passed.
Yeah, Clark is turning out to be a grade A lunatic. Who does this?
Dude.
He doesn't deserve Ellen. This woman wanted to fly to California, have a nice vacation, and then fly home. And he drags her across the country in this station wagon in the fucking bullshit that's happened. And this is the thanks that she gets. He's going to flirt with another woman. He sucks.
So this is why I started the thing off by saying, does this guy have a brain tumor or is he completely insane? Because this guy is fucking... The shit he does is beyond the over the rainbow.
Yeah.
So this is where Clark snaps, okay? He's in this hotel at the fucking Grand Canyon and he robs the place. Now, Tony, he should not have put that check. He should not have put that check in the register. I'll tell you why. Nobody saw that the drawer open when he slapped the table. The thing opens up. There's nobody around. He takes the money. That's it. You just leave. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't take any money.
Because he didn't want to be called a thief.
Des, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to do this to you. So instead of just being a sociopath and you know, basically a sex maniac, he should now become a felon.
Well, he's a felon anyway because he doesn't know how much money he grabbed out of that register. It could have been $2,000. Right. That was a very big hotel. He's still stealing.
My point is this: he's going to at least have some defense if he leaves the check that says, "I was willing to do this on the up and up, but your dumbass said I had to stay here 10 business days to let the check clear."
There's zero evidence that he took that money. Zero.
Okay, again, we're also making comparatives on something that probably would never happen either. Although Clark is a little fucking at wit's end, because he's not getting what he wants. It's more to the idea that, kind of like Delin said, nothing this guy does makes a lot of sense, right? Wouldn't you just call the bank and say, hey, turn the credit cards back on. Those are my wife's cards that are missing. My cards need to go back on, blah, blah, blah. Nope, not this guy.
But it doesn't make sense from Harold Ramis's point of view, because if he just takes the money and leaves with his family, there's not this shot. Like, I'm thinking, when are the police going to pull him over for this robbery?
My thing too is let's be real. He wanted to do the right thing. They didn't find a way for him to be able to do that in his own twisted sense of reality. Giving the check for the cash was all he really wanted anyway, for them to cash a check for him. This was a means to an end. He took it. Fuck him. I'm all with Clark. You know that.
With Edna dying, this again shows this disconnect between Clark and his family. This is Ellen's aunt. Okay, it's not his aunt. This is Ellen's aunt. He's going to disrespect her, tie her to a fucking roof, drop her off in the backyard of her fucking sons. This is presumably what? Ellen's brother? Or a cousin? A first cousin? You know, jeez, what a worm. Well, he's always been a little flooded. He's always been a jagoff. You know, he's like, it's the fucking dickwad. He's going to tie her to the chair. And then I love this eulogy he gives. Sorry, I'm not an ordained minister. I'm doing my best.
But, and again, too, you got to love Clark, because what does he do? He goes into like minister role. He starts chanting and he's doing like biblical style quotes of, or just horse shit he's made up. And he says thou and thus and
that's
stuff
what's
we
great
don't
about the
speak of.
scene, though, is he did that off the cuff, one take. Just there was nothing was written. He said, "Let me just do a eulogy," and he did that, and they were like, "It's perfect," and they kept it.
Little side note: when Des was writing his notes, he's in the other room and he says, "Honey, how do you spell Eulagi?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "Eulagi. How do you spell it?" And I said, "What word are you trying to spell?"
He thought it was Karate Kid, Mr. Ulagi. You know him.
Yeah,
And
Mr.
I was
Oh,
Ulagi.
that's Miyagi. Sorry.
And he
Miyagi.
said, when you talk when somebody dies, and I meant, you mean a eulogy?
Hey,
That's
you
a
say
lie.
pajama, I say eulogy. What's the big
Eulogy.
deal?
What's the difference? So,
By the way, that's the first, because, Des has not mispronounced one thing up until that point in this podcast, so he has to keep the streak going somehow.
Yeah.
Usually he blows the name of the director or one of the actors.
I
so,
just was too familiar with this movie. There was no mistakes
that's
to be
it.
made.
You were 100% spot on, brother.
So finally, we get this scene of Clark in the bar, and he's desperate to find a sexual encounter with a stranger that's staying at the same hotel as his family. Like, he's not even going to go like 2 hotels down the road to a bar there. No, he's trying to get banged in the hotel room next to his wife. He's fucking crazy. This is beyond unhinged behavior. And this isn't Clark's first time cruising for strange sex, right? I mean, Clark gets around, in my opinion. He's just too
I don't think
comfortable.
Clark has ever had an extramarital affair. He's a bumbling idiot.
Uh,
No one in their right mind would sleep with this guy.
No, listen.
He's a turd.
Clark is getting hookers and dirty massages after work, for sure. That's how this guy rolls.
I think you've made this all up in your mind. But okay.
And of course, poor Ellen, she's been gaslit by Clark for so long. She apologizes to him for trying to pick a woman up in a bar and rewards him by going skinny dipping with him. This is sick, dude. This is a man that has taken this woman and beaten her down to the point where she's apologizing for him cheating on her. Holy shit. And I loved every minute of it. Tony.
Absolutely. Not only that, I want to know where this quote unquote motel is, because holy fuck, is it the center of the social universe in whatever town they're in?
Yeah, it was like a
Because
Three's
it's
Company episode.
It's like a fucking, it's like a bevy of attractive females, all in about the right age range. And not only that, but then I love the fact that he sits down, even though he sees the drink at the bar, and he starts chatting this girl up, knowing full well she's there with someone else. But
Dude,
Clark is not one to be put aside, my friend. He's on
that
it. He's
that
all
bar
over it.
was like the Regal Beagle.
Yeah, the Regal Beagle. That's a classic. Yeah.
I was waiting for Mr. Roper to come in.
You're sort of inferring things, Des. I think it's because you can't get out of the gutter for 15 minutes. But let's be real. Clark is just looking for a little light chatter and a cold beer to just kind of wash away the grime of a day in the vehicle. The poor guy just had a little tiff with his wife. So what if he's tried to sleep with a supermodel? What's the big deal? Don't you go skinny dipping just for the thrill of it? I mean, come on.
Oh my God. Fucking, it's ridiculous. It's
Not only that, but
ridiculous.
the best part too, I love the fact that it's not like most men fantasize. Clark does. Clark's a doer. He doesn't fantasize about anything. This is crazy, and he goes and does it anyway. Dive in the pool. Fuck I have no impulse control whatsoever. I'm Clark Griswold. I love it. I love that guy.
I swim. I could have been in the Olympics. I'm proficient in many strokes.
State champion swimmer.
State champion, yeah,
diving too. Diving.
I have a credo. If you have to have a credo.
May as well have a credo like fuck it.
This is crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. That's fucking good. So
I mean, it's gorgeous. And the best part too, you get that feeling that he basically took the script, read it, and then just did whatever he wanted. Because most of this, I really think, is just Chevy Chase at his peak, doing his thing.
Again, this isn't a movie I watch with a critical eye ever. I just sit and enjoy
it's
it
not
for
the
what
point.
it is.
It's not the point. Yes. This is called National Lampoon for a reason.
But the fact of the matter is he is a psycho and he is dangerous, so it lent itself to a good podcast discussion.
Yeah. Well, if you had to grow up in the suburbs of Chicago and live that square augmented life where you have to conform, and what did he say at one point? I work hard all day to make better food additives.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what's killing most of America these days. So great job, Clark. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Clark, for the red number 9.
Yeah, that shit made out of like coal tar. Thank you so much.
Mikki, what do you think about the gaslighting going on here? With Ellen apologizing to Clark for him trying to cheat on her.
I don't agree with it. I think that she let him off easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would have made an
She was
example.
apologizing.
Yeah. I would have made first of all, I love Ellen. I love her character. I think she's a fucking riot. There's a scene when he's driving really fast and he's like, oh, she's like, slow down. And he and I are both laughing because that is us in the car. Like, that is us in the car.
Mikki, the funny thing is they're only going 80. 80 is like not even, if you're going to 80 in the fast lane, you're getting like people on your tail, like move the fuck over.
Yeah, they're riding your ass because they want to move you over.
Right.
Exactly.
But that's changed because even back in like late 90s, early 2000s, you're going 80 on the highway, you're fucking getting pulled over. Like the speed limit has gone up, like, because I was going the other day, I was on the highway and some guy passed me probably going like 90. And I was like, God, where's this fucking cop when you need one? State trooper right behind him riding his ass, like, move the fuck over. You're not pulling him over. You can't get pulled over unless you're going 100 miles an hour.
We were just talking about, and not that this has anything to do with the movie, but we were just talking about like how entitled and self-absorbed people have become, driving, being at a restaurant, being in the grocery store, and you name it.
Yeah, social media. We weren't ready for it because you know what? When you put a picture of your fucking egg sandwich on, you're just like, ooh, yummy. Your sandwich is the best sandwich I ever saw. Or if you cut somebody off, then you go on Facebook and you're like, this guy got in front of me. And everybody's like, you're so awesome. I hate people like that. They're such douchebags. You're like, I am awesome. I'm always right. You are always right. You're great.
There's a self-validation. There's also the idea that now I can bitch about everything and anything because my handle is not my name. It's like, awesome dude 01.
Yep.
No, it's called loser fucking 01 because you won't even confront people directly. You're using this.
Before the internet, the only people that you could fucking spew your stupid opinion that doesn't mean shit to was people you knew. Your neighbor, your couple of people at work, and like 2 or 3 friends that are like, shut up, Johnny. You're a fucking idiot. But now
That's
it's
right.
like,
you had to keep people responsible by confronting them in their face and calling out their bullshit.
Right.
And now we don't do that. We use the social media to do it, which has no effect on them because they don't give a shit.
Right. We could do a whole podcast on this. So
we did. It's called Don't Look Up. Go back to that podcast and listen to it. I go crazy.
The next day, the family finally arrives in Los Angeles and arrives at Wally World only to find that the park is closed for the next 2 weeks for repairs. Clark, clearly having a little mentee bee of his own, buys a realistic-looking BB gun from a local sporting goods store, returns to Wally World, and demands the park security guard named Russ to take him through the park. Ellen and kids follow him, attempting to placate their insane father. Eventually, the LAPD SWAT team arrives along with park owner Roy Wally, and they arrest the whole family. Clark manages to talk to Roy, who surprisingly understands Clark's impassioned epitome of the American vacation, describing his own memory of a less than enjoyable cross-country trip he took with his own family to Florida. Roy does not file charges against the Griswolds and lets the family enjoy the park as his guests, along with the police and the SWAT team, who are seen riding on the park's roller coaster attraction in the final shot of the movie. Our end credits show various still photographs of the Griswolds enjoying the vacation at various stops they made over the course of the movie, including the final frame of them returning to Chicago via plane, having abandoned their gas-guzzling car in California. So the original ending was Clark was going to go to Roy Wally's house with the gun and hold him at gunpoint until his daughter, the girl from the red car, arrives and de-escalates the situation. This ending tested really badly with audiences, so they scrapped it and called the cast back, got John Candy, and did this ending. This is why suddenly Rusty is taller than Ellen, because it's been months since they actually wrapped filming.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Apparently Anthony Michael Hall had a growth spurt.
Yeah, 3 inches, and they also made him leave his braces on longer than he needed them because he was supposed to get them off, and they're like, sorry, kid, you got to keep wearing them.
We need continuity here.
I love Mentee B, by the way. That was fucking awesome.
The Mentee B?
Yeah.
No, it just goes to show you this is the level of commitment that Clark is now involved in. He is refusing to accept no as the answer, and he is going to fucking have fun because you know what? He's gone. There's no two ways about it. His sociopathic tendencies have now turned completely psychopathic.
So
and
Tony's on my side now.
That's right. He's going to destroy himself and his family because fun is the only item on the list.
He's
right?
burning it to the ground now. That's it.
Yeah, that's what you do, right? You self-destruct. You're going to implode. My favorite is, though, I love the guy they cast as Roy Wally because not only is he perfect as an actor, but he physically looks like
Walt
Disney.
yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Walt Disney. I had a brain fart. And I don't think that was, confusion or just happenstance. I think it's to the idea that that's probably exactly what Walt Disney would do. You know what I mean? This is a guy who survives World War I and just draws cartoons and makes $1 billion and et cetera, and just wants people to have an enjoyable time. So you got to love it because honestly, it's the perfect ending. The first ending is insane and just shows you where Harold Ramis's head is.
I've got the perfect ending.
Oh no, I do.
I
do.
do.
Mine's the best.
You hear my
Mine's
ending
the
for
best
fucking The
alternate.
Shining? It was amazing.
Oh, Delin, you have a contrary ending.
Oh, yeah,
Excellent.
mine's
I
good.
look forward to it.
Mine's good.
I'll just say that the close of this movie is beautifully American because it wraps everything up with a bow and it shows you that perseverance fucking pays off because everybody gets to have fun at the end. And damn it, we're going to have fun if it fucking kills us.
And Dad
Let's
turned
go.
into a hero.
Well, I wouldn't call him a hero, but he's certainly not a villain.
To his kids that got all the way there and Wally World was closed. You kidding me?
Yeah, what did that show his kids? If you fucking try and you fail and you quit, you suck. If
There's
you fucking
no
try and
hero.
you fail, you try again and you try again and you try again and you refuse to take no for an answer.
What?
Hey man,
Dude.
Thomas Edison didn't invent the fucking light bulb the first time he did something. He failed
Dude,
hundreds of
Do
times.
you know what kind of therapy these children are going to need after watching their father force his way?
I don't know about that.
They just watch
Besides,
their
therapy doesn't work,
Love you.
kids. Therapy doesn't work.
They just witnessed their father force his way into a theme park with a gun.
Yeah, they knew it wasn't real.
They listen. These kids are traumatized by this. This is not a fun day in
Oh
Wally
Jesus,
World.
Des, they're not millennials. They're
You're
fucking Gen
watching-
Xers. They can handle it.
You're watching your father have a psychological breakdown with a weapon and
So
hold
what?
a
It was
gun.
a BB gun.
Oh my God. Okay. So this final act, okay, we get John Candy. $1 million for this role. He got.
Oh, but he's so good.
He was so great, but I mean, wow, talk about a nice quick paycheck.
He did?
Yeah, $1 million to
Jesus.
do this role. Yeah.
Well, he probably knew that they needed an ending that worked, and he said, "Fuck it, I got him over a barrel. I'm taking him for all the money."
All the actors were forced to ride all the rides and shoot all the scenes. And
Right.
apparently they were all getting sick, throwing up. There was motion
Mhm.
sickness, the whole 9 yards. It was pretty bad. So finally Clark buys the CO2 gun and involves his family in an armed hostage situation, putting them all in danger once again. He's just not going to be happy until he gets his family killed. If you're watching this for entertainment, it's fucking hilarious. It's comedy. But if you're reviewing it and peeling back the curtain, this is a horror movie about a man suffering a complete mental breakdown during a road trip and endangering his innocent family over and over at every turn until it finally ends with them either going to jail or fucking this fantasy ending. It was insane. It's fucking insane. Mikki, the end of the movie. Talk about the end, this final act.
I thought it was very satisfying, to be honest with you. Like I said, I mean, after all the dumb, crazy shit that he's done, when you think about it, he did it for his family. Like he's not, I mean, aside from following the chick in the red car and whatever. Do you know what I mean? What is Tony doing?
Bopping his baloney.
No, I'm illustrating your point with my hands, darling.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're an Italian American. You talk.
Well, we couldn't
with your
see you. We
hands.
leaned back too far in your chair.
Yeah,
We just saw the
all I could
motion
see
of
was
the
a
ocean.
finger pointing and doing dumb shit. So
Maybe you should concentrate on what you're doing more than what I'm
Ooh.
doing, darling.
anyway, so he did it all for his family, and no matter what a knucklehead he is, when it comes down to it, he did it for his family. Do I agree with maybe pulling out a gun and taking the security guard hostage? No, but I can also, as someone who goes to Universal Studios every single year, at least once a year, I can understand. But I don't know. I can't believe John Candy got $1 million for that role. That's fucking sweet. But I think it reminded me a little bit. I think the original ending would have been too much like Christmas Vacation, where he goes to his house.
Totally.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, same ending.
I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that. But I don't know. I thought it was, perfectly wrapped up, nice little early 80s movie.
See, but Clark didn't do it for his family because when he asked his family what they wanted to do, they wanted to go to Hawaii. They didn't want to go to Wily World. They,
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact,
that's a
in
good
the
point.
kitchen in the first scene, he's continuously saying to them, but Ellen says she doesn't want to drive. She doesn't want to do this trip in the car. The fucking kids are like, oh yeah, Dad, why don't we go into Hawaii? Nobody wants to go to Wily World. Clark loves Wily World. Clark loves Marty Moose. They don't give a fuck. They're going for him. He's doing all this for himself. And at the point, they didn't even want to go anymore after he fucking killed Aunt Edna and strapped her to the fucking roof.
You know, that's a
It's
good
not
point.
true. You can't prove he killed Aunt Edna. She died of natural causes.
That's a good point.
Tony, he's fucking guy's an asshole. This
So
guy,
yeah, maybe he is
fucking-
just a little kooky.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on the conclusion of this fine movie, on the final scenes? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Tony, any thoughts on the final scenes of this movie?
I will say that Chevy Chase does a nice job in the wrap up where he says, "Kids, don't worry, I got this," and he takes Mr. Wally aside and basically just says, "You know, do you have family? What do you
Yeah.
do for them?" Right? And granted,
they
Mr.
don't-
Wally
they don't
relates
close Florida.
immediately. Yeah. It relates immediately. And he says, have you ever been on a long road trip? And he goes, yeah, we went to Florida. And he goes, God, it was awful.
Well, imagine if Florida was closed.
Yeah. All right. No, they can't close the state of Florida. But,
Well, I know they don't close the state of Florida, but I'm just saying, imagine if they did.
yeah. The point is that let's be real. Road trips are a national pastime in our country. We are a fucking highly mobile society. We have this wonderful highway system. And most of the time, when you either can't afford or you want to try to save a little money, you get in a family truckster and haul your ass off to God knows where to do whatever. And usually the memories of it are just as fucked up as the Griswald family has experienced. But it's the idea too that does draw you closer because it's not all wine and roses. It's the bad you take with the good. And essentially, what does Wally do? He gives him a break and says, I understand. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's fine. We got fucking $1 million SWAT team down here, and
But he doesn't own the SWAT team. Fuck, that's
you
just LAPD. They waste
Yeah.
money doing that shit all the time. What are you kidding?
That's sure. That's everybody just get barbecue. We're all gonna ride the roller coaster. Clark got everybody down here. Okay, so there it is. Vacation. We've hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. We've broken it down. It was a lot to unpack there. It's like a road trip. Yeah, so there you go. Vacation. Let's replace some actors. Do some
All right,
alternate
Des, who
endings.
you recasting? Come on.
Okay, I'm replacing the pimp that says, fuck your mama with Samuel L. Jackson. Dylan, what are you doing?
I'm going to recast Beverly D'Angelo with Carrie Fisher.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she
Yeah, I
would have
can
been an
see it.
edgier Ellen, but it would have. I think it would have played really well against that extreme doofus behavior.
I think it would have been very similar to her part in The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
Well, it just goes to prove that she
Yeah.
could have done it.
Of course she could have done it. It's great. Tony, what do you got?
I had the displeasure of recasting Clark only because I needed someone to parry Chevy Chase. The only guy I could come up with, and although he's not known for his acting, was Jim Brewer, because to me, he is perfect for that role.
What do we know him from?
Jim Brewer was a comedian. He was on SNL.
He's in
It was one of
Half-Baked.
the-
Oh,
he-
yeah.
Basically, Dave Chappelle's buddy, and
Yes.
Half Baked really sprung him. But you remember him as Goat Boy on SNL and a few other skits that he had. But Jim Brewer is because if you've ever seen his stand up, he is a total 80s guy. All he talks about is 80s metal and hair bands and the cool shit that we all did. So he fits that role because he was growing up in that same timeline. And he talks about his wife and his kids all the time. So I think he'd be perfect for the job.
I bet he would love Violent Vinyl Radio.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Jim
of it.
Brewer, get over
Matter
there.
of fact, after we get CAFX on board, we're going to call Jim Brewer and do a
Jim
spot
Brewer.
with him.
Nice. Mickey, who's your replace?
The only one I could think of really was I would replace the hotel manager at the Grand Canyon place.
Yep.
With Mr. Bean.
That's fucking funny.
Because I was
I like
thinking
it.
of Mr. Bean's character in Love Actually, which I know you hated, but he was as the store clerk and he was fucking hilarious. So I thought he'd be a good hotel manager
Yes.
for Chevy Chase.
Yeah. He's an incredible, he is like the Chevy Chase of England, because if you ever watch Blackadder, he's a very serious actor. And then he's Mr. Bean is obviously Rowan Atkinson is his real name. did all this comedy shtick stuff. And it's like, this dude is just mucho talented. So he was great.
As if we'd end the movie like that. Yeah.
Let's do the Scooby-Doo ending.
Good call.
All right, let's go over and do our alternate endings. I'll get us started. And I'm going to keep it very simple this week. I didn't go too deep. When Clark and his family get off the screaming Mimi roller coaster, SWAT is waiting. They tell Clark to raise his hands, but he reaches for the gun to show it's not real. It's just a fucking CO2 gun. They open fire with their high-powered weapons, cutting him to pieces in front of his family, who are now covered in brain matter and blood. Cut to black. It's my ending.
That was the greatest ending ever.
That's the 2025 ending. That's how it ends in 2025.
Wait till you
Actually,
hear
I think that was more the Richard Rodriguez ending, but that's okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. At the end of the movie, when SWAT shows up to arrest Clark, they see the gun in his hand and an officer opens fire, hitting Clark in the leg. He's taken to the hospital in police custody, and finally Ellen feels safe enough to tell the police that her husband is an unhinged asshole who left her dead aunt on the stoop after killing her dog and nearly killing all of them several times over. Clark is admitted to a mental health facility where he vividly dreams about a trip to Europe, a trip to Las Vegas, and a Christmas holiday that never actually happened, as evidenced by the fact that his children don't even look the same. Ellen goes to visit him once a year and brings him a fruitcake.
I got chills.
I
got
love it.
chills. It was so good.
I love
I got
it.
chills. It was so good. The whole thing about the kids not being the same kids. And everything, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Perfect.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All
All
right.
right, Dylan, we're going to expect an ending of this caliber every week. From
That was your
now
best
on.
ending.
What the hell?
That's your best ending so far. That was really good.
Fabulous.
That kicked ass.
Love it.
All right. So like we said, we will be, and you guys know alternate endings, right? Nobody else doing alternate endings.
I'm not going to mess with
Okay,
Roy Wally.
That's
He's
fine.
the
That's
shit.
fine. Okay. Yeah. Tony doesn't touch the alternate endings either, so it's fine. Okay. Let's do some final thoughts. We'll score it, and we will move on with our lives. So for me, due to my nostalgic past with this movie, I am forced to give it an unearned perfect 5. This is a perfect movie for me. I fucking love Vacation. Dylan.
I'm gonna take it down a notch from that. It's better than average. It's fun. It gave me a couple laughs, but I definitely do not have the nostalgia glasses for it that you do. So I'm gonna give it a 2.75.
Mikki.
I'm kind of in between the two of you. I think I feel like as an 80s kid, it's kind of a rite of passage. And I have very fond memories of watching this with my cousins and stuff. Watching it now, I mean, I still laughed out loud many times, but it wasn't as magical as it was when I was younger, but I'm going to give it a 3.89.
3.89. And Tony, how did you see this movie?
Nice. I believe both you guys were a little high and low on the spectrum, so I'm also in the middle. I'm going to give it a straight up 4. It's an 80s classic. It hasn't, quite been a found wine, getting better with age, but it hasn't deteriorated so badly you can't enjoy it. So it's got great cast. It's well directed, and it's still funny. And I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Glenn, add up those scores. Tell us where Vacation lands on the Hey, did you ever see that movie chart? I wonder if it's going to be near Christmas Vacation.
So it's getting a 3.91, which lands it at number 49. Right above it is Talk Radio and The Strangers. Right below it is The Descent, but right below that is Christmas Vacation. So it's right in the same ballpark.
I'm glad it came in above
Interesting.
Christmas. I'm glad it came in above
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's a better film than Christmas Vacation, if you ask me.
Talk Radio. Oh, I fucking love that movie.
What's the number one movie?
There's a few. The tie.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot. I'll list it really quickly. In our number one spot, we have The Matrix, the first Star Wars, Beverly Hills Cop, Galaxy Quest, Lethal Weapon 4, The Thing, Ghostbusters, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jaws, and The Shining.
Wow.
That's a pretty good hit list of
Those are all
incredible
5-star
films.
movies.
Yeah,
They're all 5
incredible
stars.
films.
Yeah, I love them all. All right. So we will be doing Deep Blue Sea for listener Tracy next with Tony the Terror Boy. I don't know what that means. And on Violent Vinyl Radio, we are actually also doing a album for a listener. Ben wrote in and he had asked me if I would do Shotgun Messiah's Second Coming, an album that I've never heard before. I am familiar with the band. You guys probably remember their hit, Heartbreak Boulevard, take it down there, whatever it is. So there you go. We're going to be listening to Shotgun Messiah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll be listening to that. So look forward to that. Until next time, I just have one. And hey, write in. Request a fucking movie. Who knows? Maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, damn it.
Yeah, it's all that. Till next time. Hey, did you ever see that movie?